Horror Fanatic here. This is One Man Book Club, and I'm going to talk about The Hellbound Heart by Clive Barker. The whole reason I read this novel was because of the film Hellraiser, which is probably one of my favorite horror franchises, probably of all time. Second place, probably right behind the Friday the 13th series. Pinhead I find as being an iconic character, and I really wanted to see the novel that spawned from. Now, I have to address an issue I have right off the bat. Calling this a novel feels a little disingenuous. It's definitely not a short story, but I don't feel it's quite lengthy enough and meaty enough to be a novel. This is what I would call a novella, and that said, I'm not an award-winning author, so I'm not going to compare and contrast the novel to the movie that much, or if all, I'm going to try to keep it to a real minimum, because that's already been done. The movie Hellraiser's plot is identical to that of the novel, so if you've seen the movie, you know the plot, which is Rory and Julia move into Rory's mother's house, or grandmother's house, because, inherited it. Unbeknownst to them, up in a corner room, Rory's brother Frank opens the box, which allows Cenobites in who do not perceive pleasure and pain the way we do. So this is like 6 months after he opens the door and is wrecked by them, which does have some of the best visual moments for me of the book. When Rory's talking about being wrapped in his memories and blind, and gives himself the most joyless orgasm to try to get stopped, and it doesn't work. I felt that the hopelessness in that scene and his dread really translated well. But so getting back to the plot line, Rory and Julia's marriage is unhappy. So there's tension between them. One day Rory enters his hand with a chisel, goes to her, and she's in the side room, the room that Frank undid himself in by summoning the Cenobites, and bleeds, which is enough to pull Frank into our reality, to bridge the gap between the worlds just enough to call for help from Julia, who he had an affair with once, and she's still in love with him, which ties into her unhappy marriage a lot. So she starts luring men back to the house and killing them in that room, so that way Frank can feed on their blood and tissues and literally remake himself up to the point where he is completely there except for skin. Just a flayed man. But, also stronger and faster than he should be, so he got something besides no skin. While this is going on, Christy, Rory's co-worker and friend, who obviously has a thing for him and is kind of creepy stalkery at points, who gets changed to his daughter in the movie, and she makes way more sense as a character as the daughter, and the ending, the come to daddies at the end, hit a more horrifying note. Here they just seem kind of weird. In fact, I have to say my sole complaint about this novel is Christie's character, who comes off crazy, obsessed with Rory, and is supposed to come off, I think, as endearing, she loves him, and Rory and her could have the happy relationship that he and Julia don't have. I was also upset to not see the Cenobites feature a prominent role. I know they're largely absent from the film as well, and that's not the focus. That's what Hellraiser 2 and 3, and all of them became more focused on the Cenobites, and it really loses some of this underlying horror of the unknown and just letting them be these otherworldly things that pain and pleasure have no difference to them. These completely indifferent beings in their mutilated forms. And that's really great here. I get that in the book, and I get that in Hellraiser, and I'm just saying that in the movies it does lose something as it continues on focusing more and more on the monsters than the aftermath of them, their fallout. Because that's essentially what this book is. It's Frank opens the door to them, they torture him, he's able to escape. And him trying to escape this hellish prison he put himself in that he's willing to destroy anyone in any way possible to get the hell out of there and stay out. Yeah, a lot of great visuals in this book. Flayed nerves. Man, just Christie's character is so stranger danger. Like, I understand she's like written to be a good friend, but she does not come off that way. She comes off crazy, like, stalker. Yeah, overall, I really liked it. Bit short. Again, it feels like a novella more than a novel. And I'm running out of shelf space. That's pretty much all of my thoughts on The Hellbound Heart by Clive Barker. Next, I'll be reading Thor. So, yeah. See you then, and keep reading.